Welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. I'm delighted to have with us today Jono Luke, Vice President of Product Management with Cisco Webex. Jono leads the contact center product management team. His past experiences include being a founding member at Microsoft for Azure Active Directory, SharePoint Online, and Power BI. Jono recently applied his skills and passion to help get Truveta, a healthcare data startup, off the ground. He is also president of the Board of Therapeutic Health Services, a Seattle non-profit focused on delivering substance abuse and mental health support programs. Welcome, Jono. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, with the continuous integration of AI and machine learning in customer service, what strategies do you recommend for organizations to strike the right balance between automation and maintaining a personalized human touch in their interactions with customers?
Yeah, so actually, I'll say three things around this. The first is, don't forget that AI isn't just the generative AI that everyone's thinking of today, right? There's so many applications of artificial intelligence. The conversational nature of ChatGPT and the recent set of AI will help with delivery, like you said, automation of these experiences, giving customers what they want, when they want it, how they want that. But again, there's AI that's been in play for a long time. It could be over the media, for example, we're using now, which enhances my experience because I can hear you better or see you better. And so for those high stress situations, that makes for a better experience, because if I have to repeat myself when I'm already very stressed about a situation, that's going to reduce my feelings of my satisfaction, but actually perhaps delay or even get in the way of the outcome. Right. So the first is all AI, think about all of that. The second is AI is very powerful, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming and overbearing. You can bring it in bite size, as I call it, pieces, plugging it into the workflow that gets you and customer towards your outcome. Right? You don't have to completely rip and replace the system in order to benefit from that. It could be suggesting things where I'm helping the customer, and then it reminds me, in the past, this didn't go very well, so try this tactic. Or this is perhaps a different answer, right? So things that guide me as an agent along the way, or the virtual agent, right? Giving the customer what they want. That's the second. It can be bite-sized, doesn't have to be huge. And the third is, remember what your goals are. AI should not be a science fair experiment to just suddenly revolutionize and change everything. Know what you want as a business, right? Achieve those outcomes, but achieve them faster with AI, because that's what AI can help you do. Reduce the time to understanding or getting an insight to drive an action. So those are the things I would say, right, across the spectrum of customer experience and customer service, people should be thinking about.
Definitely, Jono. I think there's some very valuable nuggets that you've shared there. Now, moving on, obviously, AI is a buzzword right now. How do you feel AI is shaping CX to predict and proactively fulfill customer needs before they even arise?
Yeah, and this is one of the most exciting parts, I think, of how AI can improve customer service and customer experience. Like I say often, AI shortens the time to understanding, shortens the time to an insight. And so to your point about getting proactive or predictive, what might have taken multiple analysts or supervisors or an agent time to figure out, this is what I should do, we can now get faster and therefore do more of. Right? That's the way to think about how AI can help us on this journey. It's getting more throughput. It's not actually replacing these personas either in some cases, because I often have this discussion with folks and they go, well, what if the AI is wrong? What if it hallucinates? So many organizations are bringing human in the loop, right? Keeping an agent, a supervisor, a business analyst in the loop to make sure the right thing is happening. But now they can get more right things done faster, which means that I can figure out what that customer needs, right? Get more proactive to engage, get ahead of the need, because I'm able to look at so much more, so much faster. And then ultimately predictive. That's one thing AI has done for a long time, right? Is be able to look at those patterns elsewhere and apply them here and say, Jono is likely to X, Y, and Z. So I do think it has a material impact, not only to be able to get ahead of that need, right? The predictive, but do it at scale. because that pattern is now repeatable, right? Repeatable for so many more customer needs.
Definitely. And of course, the rise of omni-channel experiences is transforming customer interactions further. How do you feel businesses can effectively integrate various channels to create a seamless and cohesive customer journey? And of course, what role does technology play in achieving this integration?
Yeah, so when I talk about omni-channel, excuse me, I actually start with this statement. It's actually about your end customer's choice and preference. When I speak with the line of business owners and contact center managers, they think of it as a technology requirement. I say no, it's your customer's preference to engage with you over. It could be an SMS, or it could be a phone call. It could be a video call. Like, that is their choice. And that is actually the reason why I start with that. That is the first step towards satisfying the customer. Not only give them what they want, but engage with them the way they want. So when you say omni-channel, I wanted to just make sure that we cannot forget it's about customer preference. Then we can talk about scale and efficiency, because oftentimes it is more efficient to do interactions over a digital channel, right? The omni-channel, the asynchronous means, because an agent may be able to have 3 or 4 ongoing engagements versus over a voice or a video where it is truly synchronous. That's what businesses often think. They go, oh, great, I have an efficiency angle. Start with customer preference and then think about efficiency. Now, you asked about, in general, how does that create that seamless and cohesive? And here's what's interesting. If done wrong, it doesn't actually create a seamless, because if I reach out to a business over their website, a web chat, it may be that I should actually call in because the conversation requires more. Or in healthcare, as I have a passion point for, seeing or talking through something is just so much more effective in some cases than trying to describe in words. So that escalation, right, that seamless movement from one channel to another, you want a platform that can do that for you. It doesn't magically happen. In fact, if it's done wrong, that's even worse. If I start in a web chat and it says, please call in, then I call in and then I wait. And then I wait for 4 minutes on a hold queue. And then when I get an answer, they say, can you tell me what you want? You've actually done nothing positive for the interaction. So to your point, the seamless, that's a responsibility of vendors like myself, right? Where we build these so that it can go across. So you don't have to repeat yourself as a customer or have to wait. I asked you to call in. We should put you into a priority queue, or I'll call you. Right? So these are the kinds of things that the technology is there. It has to be stitched well together. The last thing I'll put out there is don't lose the connectivity in that journey and that understanding. The conversation that happened over web chat is the first part of the phone call, which could have led to a telehealth visit. Again, using healthcare as an example. That's one journey. It doesn't matter that it started over here in a text and then voice and then video. It is a continuous, you need all of that. So AI, back to the AI topic, it's the topic du jour, can learn from it properly and account for, maybe next time, we shouldn't have the patient come in over voice, go directly to video. And so those are the kinds of learnings, right? That are only possible by that seamless, truly connected end-to-end omni-channel experience.
Very interesting points that you've touched upon, Jono. And eventually, I think it's all about making sure that we're equipping our human agents and empowering them with new technologies to deliver exceptional and empathetic customer service. What are the new technologies available right now that can be utilized by organizations?
Yeah, so I want to make sure I touch on one thing you said, which is throughout this conversation, AI, automation, that drives efficiency for the business. If I can get my agent, and we're talking about the humans now, right, the employees, if I can get my agent to solve a need in 4 minutes instead of 8 minutes, I can get the agent to do twice as many engagements, right? There's an efficiency angle, but we forget 2 things. That means that that agent will deal with more stressful situations potentially over the course of their shift. Right. And so there's an impact on the other side. And now to your question, technologies, for example, we've invested in something that we call agent burnout detection. It's part of our larger agent wellness solution space. What we're saying, right, is you should automate the high volume and repetitive things, the easy things, because that is not worth the time of your human agents. So let's say we've solved the easy things in an automated way. And let's say we've made your agent more efficient. Instead of 8 minutes, it's 4 minutes. This agent now has twice as many difficult calls every shift. What we're watching for, what these technologies, you should take into account the fatigue of the agent over their shift. Because if I'm getting more fatigued interaction after interaction, but what's bad sign? I'm getting tired, but I'm also more likely to create a less than stellar experience for the customer. Then we look at the other signals. We look at how the customer is doing. If their sentiment is decreasing or over interactions, each customer is getting more frustrated, right? Lower CSAT, that's a signal to give that human agent a break. Let them reset. And so that is at the core of this agent burnout. It is caring for your employee, because by adopting AI and automation, we've actually made every single one of their interactions potentially more stressful and more difficult, right? And those are the kinds of things that are necessary to care for the agent. And of course, we have to give them access to the right answers. Of course, we have to give them access to the subject matter experts that may be in the back office, so to speak. But we have to support them as a human as well, because at the end of the day, human agents are the most expensive resource that we have in customer experience and customer support.
Definitely. Thank you, Jono. It's been a pleasure to have you with us today. We look forward to meeting you and, of course, the Cisco Webex team at the Customer Experience Live show in Dubai in April, where I'm sure the audience would love to hear more about how Cisco Webex can help enable and them to deliver seamless operations. Until then, goodbye, and looking forward to catching up soon.
Thank you.